Ahoy! My name is Melany. The Nintendo Wii is quite frankly one of, if not my favorite game system of all time. While it's fair to say that a lot of the games on the Wii were just shovelware slop, there was a certain charm to even the crummiest of Wii games. Nobody cared that the console hardware was just the equivalent of giving a GameCube Adderall. Back in the day, it was just a given that you'd go to somebody's house and they'd have a Wii hooked up with a solid stack of casual games to play. Like, they sold over 100 million units. This was a console worth supporting for the long haul. And support for the long haul, they did. From the console's launch in 2006 to the final game releases, the system had over 1,600 game releases. Even well and truly into the life and even death of the Wii's follow-up console, the Wii U, the Wii was still getting games released. This damn slab of white plastic just wouldn't fucking die. With the launch of the Wii U in 2012, the Wii finally started to experience a slowdown in game releases, but it was still getting plenty of games. Like, just as a comparison piece, 2009 was the peak year of Wii game releases at 599 game releases, whereas in 2011, the year before the Wii U, 279 games released. 2012 marked a major decline in games at only 120 Wii games. However, there were still some larger names in this pile of games, like Mario Party 9, Epic Mickey 2, Kirby's Dream Collection, alongside yearly game releases like Just Dance 4 and Skylanders Giants. However, 2012 is actually a weirdly notable year. June 2012 marked the release of LEGO Batman 2 on the Wii, and October 2012 marked the final LEGO Wii game, LEGO Lord of the Rings. I always found it quite odd that they stopped the LEGO games on the Wii this soon. Games like LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga and LEGO Batman are etched into the minds of many, and some of the most iconic games for the Wii. They work well as just simple little pick-up-and-play multiplayer titles that were really always a solid option for families. Quite frankly though, it's easy to see why they stopped here. This game runs like garbage on the Wii. I wish I had more to say on this game, but really, it's just LEGO Lord of the Rings. I'm not huge on the Lord of the Rings, as I've never seen or read anything Lord of the Rings related, so this is genuinely my first exposure to the entire franchise, and my god. This is probably a solid romp if you're into the series on any other platform, but good god, skip the Wii entry. 2013 broke the record for lowest number of Wii games to date, only 52 game releases. The games that were coming out at this point were mainly multi-platform titles, stuff like late-release licensed kids games such as Barbie Dreamhouse Party or Turbo Stunt Squad, or notably, Disney's Planes. Why is this random-ass kids game notable to me? For some reason completely beyond me, Nintendo nabbed the licensed kids game for the movie Planes as a Nintendo hardware exclusive. So all currently relevant Nintendo consoles at the time were the only way to play Planes. So if you wanted to play the Planes video games, you could only play them on the relevant at the time Nintendo consoles. Which is a really weird choice. There really wasn't anything that notable about this game. As per usual though, we got the yearly Skylanders and Just Dance titles alongside stuff like FIFA 14 Legacy Edition. 2014 was really the year that the Wii was noticeably dying. Only about 11 games released for the Wii worldwide. At this point, there's so few games, it's actually feasible I can give some sort of discussion to most of these games. Nintendo's Planes exclusivity deal struck back again with the Wii version of Planes Fire and Rescue, which is quite an odd duck of a release by 2014, and by this point, I really can't imagine having sold very well on any platform. From what I can tell, this game was very much made on the cheap. The game is made with being ported to weaker hardware in mind, so it's almost the exact same game across the board with all platforms. During my research on this game, I stumbled across the leaked remains of a DS port of the game that was canned in development. And from the few pieces of the game that are online, I can wager a guess that this was also planned to be exactly like the other versions. This game was published by a company known as Little Orbit. And looking at the list of games released for Wii in 2014, 4 of the 11 games on Wii in 2014 came from this studio. These guys were still pumping games out for the console even in the twilight years of the system, which is honestly really funny to think about. Many parents, including mine, didn't bother giving into the pleas of their innocent children who merely wanted but a Wii U for their birthday due to them already owning a Wii. So by this point in the console's lifespan, we were just stuck with this underpowered Wii Sports slab, where the newest games were just the table scraps of other consoles. As per usual, Just Dance 2015 came to the platform for the yearly Just Dance title, alongside other games like The Voice, I Want You, and the final FIFA game to grace the console. What I find so humorous about this is that FIFA only got one game on the Wii U, that being FIFA 13, meaning that FIFA on Wii outlived FIFA on Wii U. 2014 also marked the final WiiWare release, Karaoke Joy Sound. It's exactly what it sounds like. By this point, the console is very clearly on its way out. Even the games it was getting were struggling to run on the console. And the best example of this is in the form of 2014 Skylanders Trap Team. Growing up with a Wii in the Wii U era, the only major game on the regular Wii any of us ever had a chance of ever caring about was the yearly Skylanders game, and for many of us, was the only reason we ever kept using our Wii consoles. The series had always been most prominent on Wii, with the first two games being designed for the Wii first and foremost. However, from the third entry onwards, the Wii port was always just a hastily scaled down port. 2013 Skylanders Swap Force on Wii was massively downgraded from the HD version, but still definitely playable. As for 2014's Trap Team, however, it's honestly just a miracle this game ran on the console at all. I cannot overstate how poorly this game runs on Wii. For many kids at the time, it did the job for the latest Skylanders release, but it was even obvious to them that this was the economy version of the game. As a kid, I got this game on Xbox 360, but I remember going over to a friend's house to play on the Wii and saying out loud, "This game feels slower than mine." Quite frankly, it's a miracle this game was ever able to get a Wii port. The game even came with a download code for the Wii U port of the game, almost as an apology and peace offering from developers. 2015 was an interesting year for the Wii. Only 7 games released for the platform. And at this point, let's just go over every single one of them. Now, among the usual faces of the Wii's twilight years, there was one major game release that sticks out like a sore thumb. This wasn't really some garbo shovelware title. This was an actually well-anticipated game release, with some very well-known names attached to the project. Most notably, being Yuji Naka, co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. The game released for the Wii, Wii U, and 3DS, so it's not like it was stranded on Wii, but it's still so wild to me that a somewhat major game release came to the Wii so late in its life. This was apparently in development limbo for the longest time, before finally getting squirted out in 2015. It's a bit of an odd duck of a game too. The controls particularly are very unique. It has this kinda awkward mechanism where you have to point the Wiimote where you want to go and use the B button to fly towards the object you pointed at. Or you can use the fucking D-pad to walk around, which, ick. It weirdly reminds me of like Spider-Man games, or using an Elytra Trident combo in Minecraft. I hesitate to say the controls are bad in this game, as I'm sure with the right person this could be a lot of fun. I also didn't really have a ton of fun, so I also hesitate to say I enjoyed the controls. Still, a fairly high quality major game release to drop so late in the Wii's life. In terms of Wii games other than Rodea the Sky Soldier, 2015 marked only 2 licensed kids games for the console. November 3rd brought about Barbie and her sister's Puppy Rescue, whereas on the 17th of November, we got the final licensed kids game for Wii, Monster High New Ghoul in School. I tried the Monster High game, expecting jack shit out of it, although shockingly, I was pleasantly surprised by it. For being the final licensed kids game on the Wii, this is a weirdly high quality game. As far as I can tell, this game is played almost entirely within the walls of Monster High itself, doing quests for the students of Monster High, interacting with characters from the show, etc. Most of the characters are fully voiced too, giving the vibe that you're actually playing through an episode of the show.
Hey, there you are! Draculaura said that you'd be coming by.
Except for these characters here, they weren't voiced at all, just these weird creature-like sounds being played. This was a multi-platform title, as you could probably guess, with it also releasing on all 7th generation consoles as well as the Wii U. It's a weird choice to have your game only released on the last generation consoles and a mythical console that doesn't actually exist. But hey, you know what? If you're at all a Monster High fan, maybe give this game a shot. This feels like a rather quality game. In fact, the Wii port of the game, as far as I can tell, seems like a really competent version of the game. It ran very smoothly at a solid 60 frames per second. I mean, if you're gonna play this, maybe do seek out the HD versions, but the Wii port isn't a bad option. The only part of the game that really stood out as a noticeable downgrade compared to the HD versions was just this weird vibe of compression to the opening FMV. I don't know how to explain it other than just show you some footage of the game and just hope to God you know what I'm talking about. Also, I have no way to naturally bring this up, but like, the opening music genuinely goes really hard, and I'm not sure what to make of that. Keep in mind, I have never seen anything related to Monster High before today, and my only opinion on the show going into this was that it just seemed like the emo kids version of My Little Pony Equestria Girls. In regards to other games released on Wii in 2015, we also got a Let's Sing game this time. Let's Sing 2016, alongside the yearly Just Dance game, and even a bonus Just Dance in the form of Just Dance Disney Party 2, a Just Dance game featuring only music from Disney Channel shows. However, this year is notable for one other thing: the final Skylanders release on Wii. 2015 Skylanders Superchargers launched as the 5th game in the Skylanders series for all major HD consoles. However, this year was the very first year Activision bowed out of releasing the main Skylanders game on the Wii. However, the Wii versions of Skylanders games were always of the highest selling varieties of Skylanders games. So while the major HD consoles got Skylanders Superchargers, the Wii and 3DS got Skylanders Superchargers Racing, a pared down version of the game that is only the racing mode. However, what makes this so interesting to me is a certain deal Nintendo struck with Activision. The versions of Superchargers that released on Nintendo consoles came bundled in with an exclusive Nintendo Skylander. Turbocharged Donkey Kong came in the Wii U bundle, whereas the 3DS and Wii versions got Hammer Slam Bowser. Make matters even crazier is that the Nintendo crossover figures doubled as both Skylanders and Amiibos. I have a sealed copy of this game's starter pack, and it is just odd seeing a Wii game with the Amiibo logo on it. I remember as a kid wondering if this meant Nintendo was considering bringing Amiibo sports to the Wii with their own NFC reader for the console. Like, this was such a weird ass thing to happen so late in the console's lifespan. And you wanna know what the wildest part about this is? 2015 was virtually the final year of Wii support. In North America at least, from 2016 to 2019, the only games that released on the Wii were Just Dance titles. 2017, 2018, 2019, and even 2020. The fact that Just Dance was still so consistently dropping on Wii each year was just insane to me. Just Dance 2020, the final Just Dance on Wii, is especially comical to me. Like, actually playing this version of Just Dance 2020, I just get tonal whiplash. Seeing all of these modern Just Dance tracks being played in such a low resolution on the Nintendo Wii, a console that doesn't even have native HDMI, I always associate the Wii with the late 2000s and very early 2010s. Hell, that's pretty accurate to my idea of what the Just Dance series on Wii even was. But the fact that I'm playing Just Dance on my Wii with such a modern feeling song list is just wacky. It feels just horrifically weird to be dancing to these songs with a fucking Wii remote. Songs like Old Town Road by Lil Nas X, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, fucking Baby Shark. I cannot possibly stress to you how absolutely bonkers this song list feels to me. These songs came out well and truly after people stopped caring about the Wii. It just feels like yesterday, these were the biggest songs in the world. In reality, it's been, 6 years. Fuck, I'm getting old. I remember watching Ubisoft's press conference in 2019 and seeing that this game was coming to the Wii that year was so humorous, especially because by 2019, Just Dance wasn't even coming out on Wii U anymore. Just the Wii. Hell, among the platforms that Just Dance 2020 came to was fucking Google Stadia. Yeah, the Wii got a game that was also released day and date on Google fucking Stadia. That is so funny. It's also just really funny for me to picture this game being actively sold during the pandemic. A brand new, recently released Wii game in stores being sold during the lockdown. Now, a lot of people may be wondering here why Just Dance was even still releasing on the Wii as late as 2019. The answer to that is, well, there was still a market for it. Many people still had Wiis, and Just Dance was an excellent exercise game. Additionally, a lot of places like children's hospitals may have Wiis hooked up for patients to play, and having the brand new Just Dance there for the Wii with the latest track list was a really nice gesture. Like, do remember, these are exercise games in some capacity. They have a purpose. However, with everything said and done, Just Dance 2020 was the final game released on the Wii in North America. Pretty fitting game to end off the Wii's lifespan. Sure, it was just a port of an annually released game, but Just Dance was a really good emblem of what the Wii era was. Fun party games with cute uses of motion control. And Just Dance perfectly fit that. However, Just Dance 2020 was merely the final Just Dance in North America. In PAL territories, there were 2 more games for the Wii in late 2020. Retro City Rampage DX and Shakedown Hawaii. These both released day and date together, published by V-Blank Entertainment. Retro City Rampage and Shakedown Hawaii tend to get these late release ports. Recently, I picked up Shakedown Hawaii on 3DS, and these games also got late releases on PS3. As a matter of fact, Shakedown Hawaii was also the final game released on PS3 in 2020 as well. This was released mostly as a collector's novelty. Only about 3,000 copies were produced each, and I can't imagine many people actively chose to play this game this way. But this is a really cute novelty of a release. For being such an underpowered console, it's honestly pretty crazy the console was still getting games during the latter half of the 2010s. Even if they were just Dance games. And in some respects, it kinda outlived the Wii U. I mean, sure, the final games for the platforms were both Retro City Rampage and Shakedown Hawaii on the same day, but these were just collector's dribble. Just Dance 2020 was an actual game, released in stores with the purpose of people genuinely playing it on the Wii in 2020. Like, the Wii pretty much outlasted all other consoles of the 7th generation. That's really impressive to me to this day. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing to see more from this channel. I'm a small channel trying to grow, and I really love doing these videos as a hobby, so it would mean a lot to me if you wanted to check out more of my content. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you all have a lovely day, stay safe, and I hope to see you next time.